Well, hello, it's me, Bob, and I'm going to give you a farming strategy that I've been playing for a few days, been enjoying it quite a bit. Basically, it is hunting unique items. Um, Let me explain how this works. So, the most important part is you take all the rogue exile nodes. So, we're farming rogue exile. You also want to be a magic find build. It's not entirely necessary, but it will work better. So we take all the rogue exiles, and we take the torment nodes, the quant nodes, right? These are the important ones, because the rogue exiles are always possessed. And then we take the meticulous appraiser, which will convert our quant to rarity. So we'll just have a shit ton of rarity every map, and we're just gonna have the rogue exiles drop a lot of uniques. What also drops a lot of uniques are map bosses. So we want to play a map that has 3 map bosses. So something like City Square works the best because it's a very short map. We're not really doing any kind of ops. We're not kind of doing any kind of super farm here, or juice farm or anything like that. It's a fairly cheap investment. And we just want a short map, so we kill the rogue exiles fast and then do the map bosses, right? And then what also works really well into this strategy is metamorphs. So especially this particular node, which gives them a shit ton of content rarity, so they crap out a lot of uniques. Then obviously we can take close up the other stuff and have more chance for delirium to add more content rarity to the map. So that also works well. Also, recently I have added beasts to the farm, which also works kind of really well because the beasts just have a lot more rarity and quant than normal rares. I think it's because of the extra bestiary mods or something. I don't actually know, but they are actually quite good. And another honorable mention would be ritual, which is something I'm gonna test next, because you can snapshot the initial the bosses, right? If you spawn the ritual on the bosses and then repeat the fight 4 additional times, and every time there will be a unique loot explosion, if you will. It actually works quite nice, but right now I'm in this setup just to show you, right? Basically, once you get the torment, rogue exiles, and possibly the metamorph, just works really good. The rest is kind of optional, how you wanna set it up, right? You can also, if you want to do more investment, have the delirium orb spawn via delirium orbs or on a sextant, right? Rather than just having a chance to spawn it. And as far as the map device goes, where the most important is just the reliquary scarab, preferably gilded, and that's the only like major investment, because the gilded reliquary is about 20 chaos orbs or something like that, and that's the only major investment in this strategy. The rest is you don't have to use a gilded metamorph. I just ran out of polished and I had some gilded laying around, so I put them in because I couldn't be bothered buying. But you can use rusties as well, it doesn't matter that much. Same with the bestiary scarab. And then I'm just slapping in a sacrifice here. And that's it, right? So fairly, very low investment, right? And the sextants, we're using 2 additional rogue exiles, and the other sextants don't really matter that much. You can add whatever you want. I had a bunch of these because I thought they would be good, but they're not that good actually, because it will only convert 20%. It would not get tripled by the meticulous appraiser. Anyways, yeah, and you can also roll the maps. You can also go for the implicit maps, 10 additional rogue exiles, but those are hard to come by, so I would not recommend it. Unless you may just have a lot of them from whatever, if you farm with shadow shaping, right? And then when it comes to rolling the maps, you can also roll the maps, and this is not very expensive because we are fine with 3 mods, right? The first one being unique monsters are possessed. This is by far the best one because then all the map bosses, all 3 of them will be possessed, and both the metamorphs that we can assemble. And they do shit out a lot of uniques, especially when they move with that mod, right? Then 2 additional rogue exiles, and 2 unique bosses. Area contains 2 unique bosses. So these are all, we can hit any of these 3 mods, and it will be pretty good. So it only takes a couple of chaos orbs before you hit one of these 3, right? So it's not super expensive to actually hit one of these. We can also wall warp the maps because there's 4 things that can happen. You know, you can turn into a different map, and that's the only rip, right? The other thing, we turn into an 8 mod, which is not bad, right? We might lose the mods we want, but it's still an 8 mod map, so it's kind of worth, right? We get a lot more rarity. It can go unidentified, so we get more quantity, or it can be unchanged, which is completely fine because then we just keep the mod we rolled, right? So that's also fine, right? Okay, let me just go into the map showcase. I think I covered most about the strat, right? You'll see in the map basically all that you need to see. So I can see the couple of beasts here. What the hell? A solitaire? Yeah. Yeah, and obviously if you go to higher tiers with the strategy, you can include altars, right? So yeah, well, let's hold out, see how many next dropped, right? That was like 3 beasts here or something, quite a bit of uniques, which is nice. I think that was a rogue exile there, so that's also a couple of uniques. It does depend on the mods and such. As you can see, like if I hold out, there is like uniques everywhere, right? A lot of them obviously will be hidden by the item filter. Also, if you are running uber strict filter, you do want to make sure to adjust the filter to show semi-valuable uniques, because pretty much the only thing we're getting on this farm is just a bunch of uniques, and there's really no reason not to show the shit uniques, because a lot of the crap uniques, when you identify them, they can be worth like a divine or even more in some cases, and they're by default hidden on the item filter if you're running uber strict. Like the hoop rings, golden plates. Not sure if heat shiver is hidden. But yeah, a lot of the uniques that are quite valuable with good rolls are actually hidden on uber strict, so you do want to make sure to actually unhide them, because that will be like, will add quite a bit of profits as you do this. Also, because the meticulous appraiser keystone is actually rarity that's not coming from your gear, it also means we can actually hit currency goblins like in Calandra League, right? So that's also something that's possible in this farm. even though they are quite rare. So yeah, as you can see, unique bosses, they drop a lot of uniques. And then of course the metamors as well. Well, this one did not, I don't know why. Sometimes they don't drop a single one, and sometimes they drop like 10 to 15. So something weird, like maybe a conversion or something that happens. But anyways, that's basically the farm, right? The maps are pretty fast. And that's about it. We did get quite unlucky. We just got one, like, I'm not even sure if this is worth anything. Probably not on this map. But that's basically it. That's the whole strat, right? I can't actually price check while I'm recording because my screen will go all crazy bananas. But yeah, so far I've been farming for like 2 or 3 days. I haven't been playing a lot every day though. But the biggest drop so far, I got a Calandra Touch, which is 70 divines. The rest were mostly like, you know, well, okay, I did recently also drop a Stun Jewel, which was 5 divines. Also got a Storm Shroud a few maps ago. Well rolled Aggies. And this is what I'm talking about, showing the semi-valuable uniques, because like, you know, even the hoops, if you get a good rolled one, it's like worth 1 divine orb, right? So it's definitely good to actually show decent, to show these semi-valuable uniques as well, because a lot of them, especially the golden plates, the magic find chests, right? If they're well rolled, they're also worth 1 divine or more even. I sold one for 2 divines recently. But then also you're gonna get a lot of these like trash 30 to 40 chaos uniques, right? As you can see, I'm filling up the stash tabs, right? And a lot of the currency will come from that, and you can easily cover the investment of, which is basically 20 to 30 chaos orbs, right? Which is fairly minimum investment, right? And yeah, that's it. The maps are fairly fast. There's not much to it, right? And yeah, that's it. Basically, there is a lot of RNG involved, of course. And yeah, I also forgot about the Ventor. I also had one Ventor drop, which was 80 divines, which was my biggest, actually bigger drop than the Calandra ring. Was the Ventor ring. So yeah, that's the two biggest drops I had, and that's about it. That's what the farm is all about. Just get lucky, you know. Eventually, after, you know, hundreds and hundreds of these uniques per map, you are gonna find a good one, right? Anyways, thanks for watching, and bye bye.